After Pearl Harbor, we went to the National Memorial Cemetery of the Pacific. This is part of the American Battle Monuments Commission, which administers, operates, and maintains 26 permanent American military cemeteries and 32 federal memorials, monuments, and markers, which are located in 17 countries, the U.S. Commonwealth of Northern Mariana Islands, and the British Dependency of Gibraltar. The cemetery, informally known as the Punchbowl Cemetery, is located in the Punchbowl Crater in Honolulu and serves as a memorial to honor those men and women who serve in the United States Armed Forces, those who have been killed in doing so.
Here we are at the National Memorial Cemetery of the Pacific, I believe it's called, in the Punchbowl Crater. There's a few famous people who are buried here. And this is an old, ancient, extinct volcano. This is the grave of Ellison, Onizuka, who was one of the Challenger astronauts, and he's buried in the cemetery.
Ellison Onizuka was the first Asian American to fly in space. His first mission was aboard the Space Shuttle Discovery mission STS-51C in 1985. On January 28, 1986, he lost his life when the Challenger exploded 73 seconds after launch.
And this is Ernie Pyle's grave, the World War II correspondent.
Ernie Pyle was a Pulitzer Prize-winning American journalist and war correspondent who is best known for his stories about ordinary American soldiers during World War II. On April 17, 1945, Ernie Pyle was killed on the small island of Aishima, a small island northwest of Okinawa. My uncle Gene Konopaki was in the U.S. Army and was in the vicinity at the time of Ernie Pyle's death. The Honolulu Memorial was erected by the American Battle Monuments Commission in 1964 and dedicated in May 1966. It was built to honor the achievements and sacrifices of the American Armed Forces in the Pacific during World War II and the Korean War. In 1980, the memorial was enlarged to honor the missing of the Vietnam War.
Here's the view from the Honolulu Memorial, looking down through the Punchbowl Crater and where all the graves are located. There's a chapel behind this and some more stuff. There are these depictions of some of the various battles of the Pacific. This is for the Korean War. It's showing the front lines of attacks and such. Here's World War II. Another World War II. Yet another World War II, probably showing pretty close to the largest extent. Smaller operations at various times in Korea. Here's the Battle of Okinawa back in World War II. Here we have Iwo Jima, 1945. the liberation of the Philippines. And a full map of the victory in the Pacific. Now I'm going to be quiet as I'm going to the chapel.
The small chapel welcomes meditation and reflection.
After the chapel, here's some on liberation of Marianas. Some that I'm not familiar with. I guess it was the Kwajalein Atoll, and this is with the Gilbert Islands. The Illusions. Here's one from Guinea and the Solomons, 42 through 44. Battle of the Coral Sea. That's, of course, the so 44 through 45. Here it's showing 43 through 44 and 41 through 43. It started with Pearl Harbor, December 7th. And this shows a map of all the operations in the Pacific from 1942 to 1945. Here's a view from the top, looking down towards Daimond Head, Honolulu. Well, we finally found the path that goes to the overlook on Punchbowl Crater. It has quite the view of downtown Honolulu. Heading over towards Waikiki Beach. And making all the way to Daimond Head. And here's the view from the overlook looking towards the crater and the cemetery. And I'll learn what those mountains are tomorrow. And here's another view. Continuing on at the overlook, going towards the built-up area. And here's the final view. That's looking towards where our hotel is. There's the University of Hawaii down there.
It might be wind or something.